Bismillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Since it's like 4 p.m., so I'm just going to start now. Inshallah. La khilafa bayni ahli al-ilmi anna at-ta'bir al-Qur'ani ta'birun faridun fi ulubihi wa sumubihi. There is no disagreement among the people of the knowledge that the Quranic expression is unique expression in its greatness and loftiness. فَأَنَّهُ عَلَى كَلَامٍ وَأَرْفَعُهُ, and it is the highest of the speech. وَأَنَّهُ, okay, I didn't translated وَأَرْفَعُهُ because they both like mean the same thing. And I think author is just using two different words for like copies to stress the same thing. وأنه بحر العرب فلم يستطيعوا مدانته والإتيان بمثله. And no doubt it dazzled the Arabs, so they were not able to convict it or bring the likes of it, like bring something similar to it. مع أنه تحداهم أكثر من مرة, even though or although it challenged them more than once. لقد حد القرآن العرب ثم جميع الخلق بأن يعطوا بمثله. And no doubt the Quran challenged the Arabs and then all of the creation بأن يعطوا بمثله, to bring something like it, to bring similar to it. ثم أخبر أنهم لن يعطوا بمثله, and then informed them that they would not be able to bring something similar to it. وَلَوْ كَانَ بَعْضُهُمْ لِبَعْضٍ ظَهِيرًا, even if some of them assisted the others. فَقَدْ تَحَدَّاهُمْ أَوَّلًا بِأَنْ يَعْطُوا بِعَشَرِ صُوَرٍ مِثْلِهِ بِعَشَرِ صُوَرٍ مِثْلَهُ. No, مثله, yes. So it challenged them first to bring 10 surahs like it. بِعَشَرِ صُوَرٍ 10 surahs like it. إِنْ كَانُوا يَرَوْنَ أَنَّهُ مُفْتَرَى, like if they were seeing it as like it is something invented. إِنْ كَانُوا يَرَوْنَ أَنَّهُ مُفْتَرَى, if they were seeing it as like it is invented. Sorry, like little translation, I'm like paraphrasing. إِنْ كَانُوا يَرَوْنَ أَنَّهُ مُفْتَرَى, if they had been seeing it as invented. Okay, now this is Quranic ayah. أَمْ يَقُولُونَ افْتَرَى, or do they say that he has invented it? قُلْ فَأْتُوا بِعَشْرِ صُوَرٍ مِثْلِهِ, say, then bring 10 surahs like it. مُفْتَرَيَاتٍ, invented. وَادْعُوا مَنِ اسْتَطَعْتُمْ, and call whoever you are able to. مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ, other than Allah. إِن كُنْتُمْ صَادِقِينَ, if you have been truthful. فَإِن لَمْ يَسْتَجِيبُوا لَكُمْ, then if they don't answer you. فَعْلَمُوا, then know, أَنَّمَا عُنْزِلَ بِعِلْمِ اللَّهِ, that it has only been revealed with the knowledge of Allah. وَأَلَّا إِلَهَ إِلَّا هُ, and that there is no ilah other than him. فَهَلْ أَنْتُمْ مُسْلِمُونَ, will you then submit? So will you then submit? فَلَمَّا انْقَطَعُوا وَقَامَتِ الْحُجَّةُ عَلَيْهِمْ, so when they failed and the case was established against them, تَحَدَّاهُمْ بِأَنْ يَعْتُوا بِسُورَةٍ مِّن مِثْلِهِ. So when they failed to like bring like 10 surahs, then Quran again challenged them. تَحَدَّاهُمْ بِأَنْ يَعْتُوا بِسُورَةٍ مِّن مِثْلِهِ, it challenged them to bring a single surah, and mim misli suggests like something like it. This means like I think the author is like copying the text of the Quran, and this mim was mim zaida. So this suggests like something similar to a surah, like not even the exact, just something similar to it. وَأَخْبَرَ أَنَّهُمْ, and informed them, لَنْ يَفْعَلُوا, that they would not be able to do it. فانقطعوا أيضا. And then they again failed. وقامت الحجة عليهم, and case was established against them. قال تعالى وإن كنتم في ريب مما نزلنا على عبدنا. If you have been in any doubt of regarding what we have sent down upon our slave, فأتوا بسورة من مثله, then bring a surah somewhat like it. وَدْعُوا شُهَدَاءَكُم مِّن دُونِ اللَّهِ, and call your witnesses other than Allah, in kuntum sadiqeen, if you have been truthful. فَإِن لَمْ تَفْعَلُوا, then if you're not able to, وَلَن تَفْعَلُوا, and you would not be able to, فَاتَّقُوا النَّارَ الَّتِي وَقُودُهَا النَّاسُ وَالْحِجَارَةُ, then protect yourself from the fire, whose fuel would be the people and the stones. وَإِدَّتْ لِلْكَافِرِينَ, it has been prepared for the kafirin, for the disbelievers. Okay, whoever has like put this line, can you like please erase it? This red line, this is not mine. Someone else has done it. وَأَكَّدَ التَّحَدِّي بِقَوْلِهِ, and then he stressed the challenge. Akkada is like to emphasize, to stress. وَأَكَّدَ التَّحَدِّي, and then he stressed the challenge. بِقَوْلِهِ قُلْ لَأَنِ اجْتَمَعَتِ الْإِنسُ وَالْجِنُّ عَلَىٰ أَنْ يَأْتُوا بِمِثْلِ هَٰذَا الْقُرْآنِ لَا يَأْتُونَ بِمِثْلِهِ. Say, if the humans and the jinn were together on the mission, Allah suggests like on the mission, أن يأتوا بمثل هذا القرآن, to bring the likes of this Quran, لا يأتون بمثله, they will not be able to bring it. ولو كان بعضهم لبعض ظهيرا, even if some of them were the helpers for the others. دعا القرآن العرب إلى أن يأتوا بسورة من مثله. Quran called the Arabs to bring a surah somewhat like it. ويشمل هذا التحدي كسار السور كما يشمل طوالها, and this challenge included the short surahs just like it included the long surahs. فهو تحداهم بسورة الكوثر والإخلاص والمعوذتين والنصر والإلاف قريش. So it challenged them with the Surah Al-Kawthar, Surah Al-Ikhlas, Al-Mu'awwidhatayn, which are like the last two surahs, Surah Al-Falaq and Surah Al-Nas, one Nasr, and Wal-Ilafi Quraysh. Okay, so this concludes the first page. If you have any questions, you could please ask. We could take like 3 questions, inshallah.
So, brother, can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
So, in the first sentence, La khilafa baini or baina?
La khilafa baini is supposed to be La khilafa, no, baina. Baina, it's baina. Did you read baini?
Yeah, I think you mistakenly wrote. Yeah,
okay, yes. It's a mistake. It's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be baina. Yeah, okay, it's baina.
Another one, mudanatihi. You wrote mudanata, I think. Mudanatihi.
No, but why tihi? Isn't it supposed to be maf'ul? Mudanatahu.
Yeah, mudanati. Mudanati. Yeah.
Okay. Oh yes. I'm sorry. It's plural then. But I think mudanata.
Feminine plural.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. If it is plural, then yeah, it would be like. But isn't it a masdar, sister?
No, it's ism maf'ul.
Yeah.
Okay, then in that case it would be like ati, because even though it's like mansub, it can still take the ata, it would still take the like kasra. So yes.
Yeah, another one, wa annahu baharul araba. Why not Arabi?
Bahar al Araba, and it dazzled the Arabs. Yeah, it's bahara. It's fail. Yeah, it's fail. Annahu bahar al Araba.
It's fail. It's not a word.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's it.
It's fail.
Thank you.
Annahu bahar al Araba.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. 2 more questions we could take. Okay, alhamdulillah. Now anyone want?
Brother, in the last line, you said yashmalu tiwaliha. It should be tiwalaha, I think.
Yashmilu.
Yashmalu.
Kama yashmalu, yes, it should be tiwala, correct. Tiwala.
It will be the maf'ul of yashmalu. No?
Yes, it's maf'ul, correct.
Thank you.
Welcome. Any more? Okay, Alhamdulillah. Now, are there any volunteers to read the page number 5?
Brother
Next
Basit,
page.
could you please go a little slow with the harakas?
Okay, I would, inshallah. I would. Do someone else want to read the page number 5? Okay, then I would continue. Let me start from here. Okay. بسورة الكوثر والإخلاص والمعوذتين والنصر والإلاف قريش أو أي سورة يختارونها, or any surah that they choose. ومن المعلوم, and it is known, أن العرب, that the Arabs لم يحاولوا أن يفعلوا ذلك. Like Arabs didn't try to do that. فقد كانوا يعلمون عجزهم عنه, because they knew about their inability to do it, like their inability to bring something like it. ورعوا أن سبيل الحرب والدماء وتجميع الأحزاب أيسر عليهم من مقابلة تحدي القرآن. And they saw the way of the warfare and blood and the gathering of the armies easier for them as opposed to like countering the challenge of the Quran. Like they knew that they cannot challenge the Quran, so instead of like bringing something like it, they actually chose the other part, like of the warfare and blood.
Brother, could you repeat this sentence?
Which
من
one?
المعلوم, from من المعلوم
ومن
the entire
المعلوم
sentence.
ومن المعلوم أن العرب لم يحاولوا أن يفعلوا ذاك, قد كانوا يعلمون عجزهم عنه. ورعوا أن سبيل الحرب والدماء وتجميع الأحزاب يسر عليهم من مقابلة تحدي القرآن.
It should be سبيل الحرب والدماء.
Yes.
Then تجميع الأحزاب.
ورعوا أن سبيل, yes, تجميع الأحزاب, correct.
But I think it can work both ways, no? It can be ma'tuf over dima as well. La sabila tajmi'i. It can work that way as well. I think it can work both ways.
Yeah, if you take like sabila dimai, but then it, like I don't still think that tajmi is going back to that. So I think Sister Huma is correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
وتجميع الأحزاب يسر عليهم من مقابلة تحدي القرآن. Okay. ومن الثابت أن القرآن الكريم كان يأخذهم بروعة بيانه. And it is established that the Quran, noble Quran, used to take hold of them with the magnificence of its eloquence. وأنهم لا يملكون أنفسهم عن سمائه ولذلك okay, let me first translate this one. وأنهم لا يملكون أنفسهم عن سمائه, and they had no control over themselves from its hearing, like they were still forced to like hear it, even though they didn't want to, but they had no control. They had no control over themselves, so they had to hear it anyway. وَلِذَلِكَ سَعَوْا إِلَىٰ أَنْ يَحُولُوا بَيْنَ الْقُرْآنِ وَأَسْمَاءِ النَّاسِ, and that is why they made efforts to make the Quran inaccessible to the hearing of the people. سَعَوْا إلى أن لا يصلوا إلى العزن لأنهم يعلمون. They made efforts to, what should I say, to translate it in English. They made effort that this doesn't reach, that they made efforts that it doesn't reach the ears. Yeah, they made effort that it doesn't reach the ears. لأنهم يعلمون, because they were knowing, أن مجرد وصوله إلى السمع, that only the reaching of it to the ears, يحدث في النفس, bring about in the soul, the vision hailan, an huge echo, وحزة عنيفة, and a forceful vibration. وقد حق Yes, please.
Yeah, because an la yasila or yasilu. An la
An
yasilu.
la yasilu. It should be yasilu.
And will
Right?
not have effect on yasila.
Okay, yes, it would have. It would have. They didn't write it like Allah. They made it separately, but yeah, effect would still be there. An la yasila. I'm not sure about this one though, but I think it should.
Yes, it is. And maybe we can leave the questions until we finish the passage, and then maybe you guys can ask the
Yeah,
questions so
that
that we
was
cover
better.
more time.
That was, yes.
Yeah.
أن لا يصل إلى العزن لأنهم يعلمون أن مجرد وصوله إلى السمع يحدث في النفس دويا حائلا وحزة عنيفة. وقد حكى الله عنهم هذا الأسلوب, and Allah reported from them this manner or this style. فقال الذين كفروا لا تسمعوا لهذا القرآن, and the disbelievers said, do not listen to this Quran, وَلْغَوْا فِيهِ, and talk nonsense. Like when the Quran is being recited, just start talking so that it doesn't reach the people and reach the people, and like people are unable to like listen to it. So al-ghaw actually means to talk nonsense. وَلْغَوْا فِيهِ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَغْلِبُونَ, so that you are able to overcome. Okay. وَكَانَ سَنَادِيدُ قُرَيْشٍ وَآتَاهُمْ محاربة للرسول, and the leaders of the Quraysh and their most insolent ones fighting with the messenger or fighting against the messenger, وَأَشَدُّهُمْ كَيْدًا لَهُ وَنَيْلًا مِنْهُ, and their most strong planning against him and criticizing him. لا يملكون أنفسهم عن سماعه, they had no control over themselves from its hearing. فقد كان كل من أبي جهل وأبي سفيان والأخنس بن شريك يأخذ نفسه خلسة. So every one of them, or everyone from Abi Jahl and Abi Sufyan and Al-Akhnas bin Shuraik, they used to take themselves stealthily or secretly لسمائه, and to hear it. في الليل, at night, والرسول في بيته, I think that the jumla حالية, while the messenger was in his house, لا يعلم بمكانهم, not knowing about their positions or about their places, ولا يعلم أحد منهم بمكان صاحبه, and none of them knew the positions or the place about his of his companion. بمكان صاحبه. حتى إذا طلع الفجر تفرقوا, until the Fajr time came and they parted. حتى إذا جمعتهم الطريق, until when the road combined them, like until they, like basically the meaning like when they met each other on the road. إذا جمعتهم الطريق تلاغموا, they blamed each other. فقال بعضهم لبعض, and they said to each other, لا تعودوا فلو رآكم بعض سفهائكم لأوقعتم في نفسه شيئا. Do not return, for if some of your fools saw you, you would bring in themselves something, like you would disturb them, they would start thinking about the Quran. ثم انصرفوا, then they left. حتى إذا كانت الليلة الثانية, until when it was the second night. عاد كل رجل منهم, every man from among them returned إلى مجلسه, to his sitting place. فباتوا يستمعون له, and they remained listening to it. حتى إذا طلع الفجر, until the Fajr time came. تفرقوا, they parted. وَجَمَعَتْهُمُ الطَّرِيقُ, and the road and they again met each other on the road, or the road combined them. فَقَالَ بَعْضُهُمْ لِبَعْضٍ, and some of them, or they said to each other, مِثْلَ مَا قَالَ أَوَّلَ مَرَّةٍ, like what they had said the first time. ثُمَّ انصَرَفُوا, then they left. حَتَّى إِذَا كَانَتْ اللَّيْلَةَ الثَّالِثَةَ, until when it was the third night, أَخَذَ كُلُّ رَجُلٍ مَجْلِسَهُ, every person or every man took his sitting place. فَبَاتُوا يَسْتَمِعُونَ لَهُ حَتَّى إِذَا طَلَعَ الْفَجْرُ, and they remained listening to it until the Fajr came. تَفَرَّقُوا, they parted. فَجَمَعَتْهُمُ الطَّرِيقُ, and again the road combined them. فَقَالَ بَعْضُهُمْ لِبَعْضٍ, and they said to each other, لَا نَبْرَحُ حَتَّى نَتَآحِدُ, we would not leave until we promise to each other. لَا نَعُودُ فَتَآحَدُوا, that we would not return, so they promised to each other. Okay, questions please.
I just wanted to confirm two words meanings. Can I ask that?
Sure, sister, sure.
So it's al-ghaw. What did you say was the meaning of al-ghaw in the second paragraph in the last line?
To talk nonsense. This one. This is Quranic ayah actually. Yeah.
Okay, so because I have written cancel with it, but that's wrong, I guess.
Yes.
To cancel something.
I actually got this meaning from the Lane's lexicon.
Okay, and also the meaning of Neelan in the next paragraph, first line in the end.
Yeah, it has to do with the criticizing actually.
Okay.
Where it is,
I
yeah.
didn't find its meaning anywhere, and somewhat I just saw the modern Arabic. So
I think it's Nailan. I think it's there's a fatha over no.
Yes,
Nailan.
Nailan.
Yeah, Nailan.
For this one, I guess that's pronounced as lovely.
Sorry?
Sorry, how is it pronounced?
No, that's fine. My bad, yeah.
Okay.
So it's
Okay,
Nailan.
any other?
Okay.
Yes, it's Nailan. There's a fatha over no.
Okay, thank you so much.
Any other questions, please? Okay, any volunteer readers?
Yeah, I asked that whoever wants to read, please raise your hand. For now, we'll give Brother Basit a rest. So I'll pick on somebody to read next. And I'm going to pick Nida. Oh, there you go. Nida, please go ahead.
I can just give it a try. I'm not as fluent as Brother Basit, but I'll stop if I feel that I'm
Please
not
just read. Thank you.
Yeah. So we start from the next paragraph.
Yeah, you could complete this sentence actually, like ahadu ala. Okay, let me complete this one. Ahadu ala dhalika thumma tafarraqu. So they promised that and then they parted. Now you can start reading from where it's Akhbar Allah.
Okay. وَقَدْ أَخْبَرَ اللَّهُ نَبِيَّهُ sorry بِهَذَا الْأَمْرَ فَقَالَ. So Allah informed his messenger
بِهَذَا الْأَمْرِ.
بِهَذَا الْأَمْرِ.
It's going to be majroor, yes. I actually can't hear you, sister. Can other people hear her?
No.
No, I think we may have lost her. So next one, Aruba.
Yeah, I'll try. So, وقد أخبر الله نبيه بهذا الأمر فقال نحن أعلم بما يستمعون به. We know what they're listening to. إذ يستمعون به, when they listen to it. إذ يستمعون إليك, sorry, when they listen to you. وإذ هم نجوى, and when they like talk in secret. إذ يقول الظالمون, when the ظالمون say, when the wrongdoers say, إن تتبعون إلا رجلا مسحورا, that you only follow, you don't follow except a man who is like inflicted by magic. وما قول الوليد وما قول الوليد ابن المغيرة بسر. And the saying of Walid ibn al-Mughira is not a secret at all. فقد اجتمع إليه نفر من القريش.
Nafara, sister. There's a fatha over for.
نفر.
Yes.
Okay.
إليه نفر.
Okay. فقد فقد اجتمع إليه نفر من قريش ليجمعوا على رأي واحد. So certainly gathered to him like a group from Quraysh ليجمعوا على so that they unite on one opinion على رأي واحد يصدرون إليه, that they will transmit, or they will publish or issue.
Yeah, يصدرون عنه sister. يصدرون عنه.
يصدرون عنه. Yeah. يقولونه للناس في الموسم, that they will say to the people في الموسم, in the season that the festival is coming in the season. فقال بعضهم, then some of them said شاعر, that he's call him a poet. وقال بعضهم كاهن, and some of them said he's a mind reader. وقال بعضهم ساحر, and some of them said he's a magician. وقال بعضهم مجنون, and some of them said that he's insane. فقال يرد هذه, فكان يرد هذا الأقوال هذا الأقوال
هذه
sorry هذه الأقوال ويفندها. Then he used to deny these sayings, and he refuted them. Then he said والله إنه لقوله حلاوة والله إن لقوله حلاوة وإن عليه لطلاوة.
والله إن لقوله حلاوة.
Yeah, إن لقوله
Not least, sister, لقوله. This is like for emphasis. والله إن لقوله حلاوة.
Okay, I think, all right, I think it's li, because his speech has sweetness.
Yeah, I think it is li also.
Okay, I actually then got a different. I thought that he's saying that his speech is sweetness, but like if you say that thing, I think that could also be like
okay.
Good, yes. Yes.
Also, sister, I believe it would be inna liqawlihi halawatan.
Yes, it's halawatan for inna, right?
Yes. Yeah, if you're taking like mutalik bil khabar liqawli, then of course it's going to be mansub. So I think yes, you got it correct, sister.
Okay.
You could continue.
والله إن لقوله حلاوة وإن عليه طلاوة. And surely it has a sweetness, a beauty. Sorry, طلاوة is beauty. وإنه ليعلو وما يعلى عليه, and definitely it overpowers, and nothing overpowers it. It's not overpowered.
Before you continue, let me just make another disclaimer. Let's note down any mistakes or errors that she makes, and we avoid disturbing her through the reading, because that could confuse her. So we just note it down. Then when she finishes the page, then we can bring it up. I think that would be better.
Yeah. إن التعبير القرآني تعبير فني مقصود. Indeed, the speech or the fashion of a speech of Quran is what the Tabeer meant is. Am I translating Tabeer correctly?
Yeah, expression.
Oh yeah, sorry. So indeed, the Quranic expression is a artistic and purposeful expression. كل لفظة بل كل حرف فيه وضع وضعا فنيا مقصودا. Every word, indeed, rather every letter in it is placed artistically and purposefully. ولم تراعى في هذا الموضع الآية وحدها, and it was not considered in this placement. Only single ayah or a single surah was not considered. Al-ayata wahdaha wala surata wahdaha. بل روعية في هذا الوضع وضع التعبير القرآني كله. Okay, so in this placement, بل روعية, rather it was considered in this in the entire Quranic expression. The entire Quranic expression. The placement was considered in the entire Quranic expression. Okay. لقد انتبه القدماء إلى أن الصور التي بدأت بالحروف المفردة بنيت على ذلك الحرف. The early scholars realized that أن الصور التي بدأت, that the surahs that begin with حروف المفردة, the individual singular huruf that are alif, lam, mim, and swad and qaf, alif, lam. So the surahs that begin with these letters, buniyat ala dhalik, are made up, are composed of these letters, composed of that letter. فإن الكلمات القافية ترددت في سورة قاف كثيرا. For indeed, the kalimat al-qafiya, maslub sifa, that the words based on qaf are frequently repeated or occur frequently in Surah Qaf. Occur in Surah Qaf frequently, kathiran, a lot, frequently. Okay. Wal kalimatu sadiyatu, and the words made up of or consisting of swad, taraddadat fi surati swad. So it won't have a tanween, the surati qaf and surati swad. So fi surati swad kathiran wa hakada, like, and the words based on swad are repeated in Surat Swad a lot, or hakada, and like that. Okay, jaa fi malaki ta'wili fi suwar allati tabda'u bil ahrafil muqatta'ati. It came in Malakut Ta'wili, which is the name of the book. It came in Malakut Ta'wili fi suwar allati tabda'u bil ahrafi, that in the surahs that begin with huruf. Muqatta means isolated. So the isolated letters, the surahs that begin with isolated letters. Inna hadha suwara innama waqa'a fi awwali kulli suratin minha ma kathura tardaduhu fima tarakkaba min min kalamiha. So I don't know exact translation of it word to word, but as an idea, like that indeed these surahs where one of these huruf muqatta'at occur in the beginning, in each surah, in each such surah, that kalima, like the words that are made up of this kalima, are repeated frequently in its speech, in the speech of those surahs. Okay, ويوضح لك ما ذكرت أنك إذا
I think
نظرت.
the page has ended. I think we should like correct few things. Yeah, I actually remember few of them. You like read walam turaf fi hadha al-mawdi' al-ayata. I think it's naibul file. It will be al-ayatu, if I'm not wrong. And I think same goes for this one, wala suratu.
I cannot spot which line. Okay.
Yeah, this one, you see, walam tura'a fi hadha al-mawdi' al-ayatu wahdaha wala suratu wahdaha. But ruya fi hadha, and then you
Tura is the passive, right? Tura is passive.
Yes,
so ayata, it's ayatu. Yeah, right.
Yes.
You're right.
Yes, okay.
Right.
And then you made it like mudaf, mudafila. I think they're separate words. Ruya fi hadha al-wadi. This one ends there. And then at-tabirul Qurani kulluhu. It is again like naibul file, okay?
Yeah.
And then there was one.
That I missed.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then I think you read over here wal kalimatu sadiyatu, but this one is ma'tuf on this inna, right? Should be wal kalimatu sadiyatu.
Yes, that's right.
Other, I think these were the only ones. If and now if like someone has questions, please go ahead.
If you can translate the last line, the one that you just corrected, lam tura'a, and ruya is it an ism or is it a fail?
Sorry,
Can you translate this last
this
line?
is failed. This is
Ruhiyat,
failed taken into
It failed.
consideration.
So how
It's-
do you, I've written heart and soul of something. So how do you, what is the meaning of ruhya?
Rather, actually, you know, this is one of those that is very difficult to translate in exact English. Like rather taken into consideration in this placement is the is all of the Quranic expression. Rather taken into consideration in this placement is all of the Quranic expression.
Okay.
Yes, it's passive. Perform-
Ruhya does not mean like taking something's like its authenticity and its soul, not the literal meaning or something like that. That's not its meaning, right?
Yeah, here I think it is being used like to like take care of, like take in your consideration, like the author is trying to convey that every word that is coming in the Quran, it is like being done like with super consideration, like everything is being taken into account, and it's not like only just one surah is being given like consideration, like the author, like who's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he like he's aware like this word is coming in this surah in this construction, in this surah in this construction, in this surah in this construction, and all of it is like being like taken into consideration with the placement of each word in that surah. So this is what author is trying to convey.
Okay. Jazakallah.
But yeah,
What I wanted to ask was if anybody knew the root letters of this word, Tura'a and Ru'ya. This
yeah,
taking
Ra'a,
into consideration.
I think it's
could not
Ra'a
find it.
Ya, if I'm not wrong. It's Ra'a and Ya. Ra'ain, sorry, Ra'ain and Ya.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Naqis.
Yeah.
it's naqis. That's why it doesn't have sukoon at the end.
Yes,
Even
it's
in
Yeah.
Naqis,
Islam.
yes. Yes.
Okay. And I could not understand the grammar and the placement of words, how to make sense of it, whatever this the
Yeah, actually, you know, this is an old book and this guy used like extremely tough Arabic. I could try to do it, but it would be
Sentence
difficult.
construction is a little complicated.
yes.
Yeah, this, yeah.
I mean, you can,
In
I can
hadhihi
make out
suwari,
the-
I think this one is the like mubtada of it. In hadhihi suwari, and then yeah, the other portion is like the khabar of it. Innama waqa'a, and then fi awwali kulli suratin minha is like one construction or one muta'alliq bil khabar, and then ma kasura tardaduhu fi ma tarakkaba min kalimihima. So like in this surah, fi awwali kulli suratin minha, this minha is going back to like the surah, like the plurals of surah. So like in the start of every surah from that group, ma kasura tardad, and waka suggests like located in the start of every surah from that group is the repetition. Now repetition of word, that is what this blue box is telling. Repetition of the fi ma tarakkaba min kalimihima, like repetition of the words that form from those letters. Like if a surah is starting from Ra or sorry Qaf, then at the start of those surah you would find lots of words that consist of Qaf. And if a surah is starting like Alif Lam Mim, at the start of those surah you would find words that are composed of Alif Lam and Mim. So this is what author is trying to convey.
Yeah, and I think my kasura is like the what we insha'iyya, kalam insha'iyya. The ma kasura is like ma akfara.
Like it should happen.
No, I think it's Ma'al Mausuliya. I think it's Ma'al Mausuliya. It's not like Insha'iyya.
Oh,
Like what, like like repetition of word. This is what it's saying. Like Ma kasura tardadu. This is going back to Waka. Like what is located? This green one is located. And then
Ma
this blue is just the
kasura,
explanation of this green. Yes.
ma
Maka,
kasura
like innama waka,
greatly
if you skip this yellow box, innama waka ma kasura tardadu, like located is the repetition or the frequent repetition. Ma kasura, like what increases in repetition. What increases in repetition. Yes.
Yes, that's why
And
ma kasura, like how great that the repetition of it is.
So it's like Ma'af in Shaya.
I
Maybe
think
then I'm
so.
incorrect. Wallahu
Sounds
alam.
like it.
If someone else can confirm.
I'm not sure. Okay.
I think it's
Mansha is something that it should be or something you want it to be. Like something you want it to be,
Like
whether
expression
it
of
is
how
or not.
great something is, like expression. Like
ta'ajjub, you are saying this.
yeah,
like
yeah.
ta'ajjub, yeah.
Ta'ajjub, yeah.
The construction is ma
kind of
af'aluhu. It's ma
Yes,
af'aluhu.
but sometimes there are exceptions and sound like it. I'm not sure either. Maybe.
okay. I think
Somebody,
Yeah.
tell me what innama, I mean here.
I was thinking it was
I mean,
making good sense if we
either
read that as indama.
Innama,
In hadis suwari. Yeah. Innama waqa fi awwali kulli surati minha. Yeah, it's like
When I read it as
Innama, innama means on the contrary, right? Or is it
indama
something
means
else?
only, like normally,
Only.
like saying.
Okay.
actually, when Ustad taught us about Innama, he said, for now, you can think it means only. And then he never
Okay.
continued.
But here it's like very strange.
No, only
Because
does not make sense. I mean,
It's not,
the
yeah.
grammar of it does not make sense. Yes, by the meaning of the words, you can guess what he's trying
Yes,
to say,
exactly.
but construction of the sentence is not making any
Here
sense.
there's a strange thing that when I'm reading it as indama, it's making good sense that indama waqa'a, whenever occurred in the beginning of each surah, among it, whenever this happened, then this happened, it was making really good sense.
but how about if you translate it with on the contrary? Because
Like
that's
there's no
that was the
concrete
meaning that I found.
statement being made here now.
Okay.
Then there need to be two statements, different statements. No?
I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
we guessed the meaning
Yeah,
correctly.
I think that's
Meaning
a big
guessed
statement for
correctly.
now.
Grammar is just like a bit of like old grammar book. The old book at that time
I
maybe
mean,
like traffic was a bit more tough. Yeah, so
it's like off the track, but is this kind of question that we are supposed to ask Ustad? I mean, is it a legitimate question to put in the mail?
yes, we
I'm
can.
not
Of course,
sure.
we can. Yes,
Can I
Okay.
continue?
Yeah, sure.
yes, sister, you could. If there are like no other volunteers, then sister will continue.
And let me know.
Okay, you could, inshallah, sister.
Bismillah.
You read this part?
Yeah,
You read this part?
I didn't translate it, I read it. وَيُوَضِّحُ لَكَ مَا ذَكَرْتُ أَنَّكَ وَيُوَضِّحُ لَكَ مَا ذَكَرْتُ. So he clarifies or explains for you what I mentioned. أَنَّكَ إِذَا نَظَرْتَ فِي صُورَةٍ مِنْهَا. If you look into a surah from among it or from it, بِمَا يُمَاثِلُهَا فِي عَدَدِ كَلْمِهَا وَحُرُوفِهَا. If you look into any of these surah, ask in comparison to what's similar to it in its number of words and letters, like in terms of when we compare any of these surahs with another surah that is similar to that surah in some way in terms of numbers of letters or words in it, then we compare these two. وجدت الحرف المفتتح بها تلك السورة.
Yeah, this was actually one of the tough one for me.
Yes, same.
I think it has to be Tilka Suwarti. Like even though like the Mudaf has al, but I think there are cases Mudaf can have al, and I think this phrase is the Mudaf and the Tilka Suwarti is the Mudaf ilay, unless if someone can come up with a better answer. But I struggled a bit with this one, and I think you read it correctly. It should be like this, like Tilka Surati, like the starting harf of those surah, of that surah.
So that surah that will be Ismul Ishara Musharun Ilay, so we don't have to make it sure then. Well,
Yes.
Tilka Surah too, I'll just go with it. I'm not sure either.
I think it's Surah 2 because yes, you are saying correctly. Is Shara and Musharun.
No, then but there has to be some connection. Like there is no harf ataf or anything. Like just a new sentence is starting like that.
I think
there's a connection between them.
Yes, there is a harf, and I was the harf, the opening harf with which that surah started. Biha, I think ha is going back to that harf, but it then should
Ha is
be
going back to the surah.
no, back to the harf. Al-harf al-muftatiha. Al-harf al-muftatiha.
Yes. This ha is going back to the surah.
Isn't harf masculine, or is it? If it is ha is going back to
I was
her?
thinking, but
not harf, the surah. Ha is going back to surah.
But surah is later on.
No, sister, the previous one, the one that you started.
Oh, yeah.
Al-harf al-muftatiha, yeah, actually the one like.
Yeah, yes.
It is like big name for harf of the surah. This complete phrase.
But with it. But it's saying biha means with it. So with surah?
No, not
No, with
necessarily.
harf,
You
right?
know, we have like seen a lot of such examples now where you can't
Yeah,
exactly
you can say maybe in that case.
Can I jump in? I don't know what the confusion is. I just got back. What is the confusion again?
We haven't reached a conclusion yet.
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe we
Second
could
line
ask
of
this
the-
question from Ustaz. You know, this is a good question
Yes.
for Ustaz. This is a good question, legit question. Like, what is the like connection between
Yeah,
these
this
two?
No, she was
paragraph.
asking what the confusion was, not what the conclusion
Okay.
was.
Oh,
Sister,
confusion.
the
Okay.
confusion is like what would be the like ending haraka of this as-surah?
تلك surati, because في سورة منها.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
tilka surah so
So
you are taking it.
this surah goes back to her. Her goes back to fi surah. You see, I don't know. I can't show you, unfortunately. So ذكرت أنك إذا نظرت في سورة منها, if you look at a surah, بما يماثلها في عدد كلمها وحروفها, وجدت الحرف المفتتح بها تلك السورة. It goes back to that surah that you're looking at. إذا نظرت في سورة تلك السورة, that surah that you're looking at. So that surah goes back to that surah. I don't know if I made any sense.
brother,
it's
can I?
just-
Hello,
Yes, brother, please.
brother. As far as tilka surah too, being a marfu must have the reason, you know. So tilka surati have a strong point, you know, being a majroor, because ha referring to surah, and tilka surati, as you mentioned, there's mudaf ilayh, even though biha is coming between them, it makes sense more than that, yani marfu, more than marfu. Are you getting my point?
But
I
تلك
am
السورة is not مضاف إليه. تلك السورة is اسم الإشارة المشار إليه.
Being-
Both go back to في surah.
No, as the brother is saying in the beginning, that even though al-mafti, it is, it acts like that, you know, in the sense of the meaning. Am I correct, brother?
Yes, I am, and we have seen cases where actually mushar alayhi they come to are all like mudaf ilayh. But I think Sister Ilham's point is, I think, like better over here maybe, but yeah.
I think we should really note it and then discuss it later, but with some sources, it's not going.
Yes, inshallah. Yes,
A quick,
inshallah, I think.
a quick question, Brother Basit. How did you read is it wajata, or how did you read
Actually,
those?
Brother Aziz, my actually conclusion about this was, I think I'm wrong. It was like al-harf al-muftatiha biha is like one phrase, and this phrase is acting as like a mudaf, like starting, beginning harf. Because this phrase actually means the starting harf. Like this ha is going back to the surah, al-muftatiha biha, like opened with it. So al-harf al-muftatiha biha, or like opener of that surah, like literally. So I was actually suggesting like this whole phrase is the mudaf, and tilka surati is like the mudaf ilayh, like the starting harf of that surah. But yeah, I think Sister Ilham has got the right of it.
Okay,
I
no,
think
my
everything,
question
yes.
was, how did you read the verb, the fi'al before it, the wajah, those four
Wajata.
letters? Wajata? Okay,
وجدت
shukran.
الحرف المفتتح بها تلك السورة. You find the starting harf of that surah.
With that surah or by the okay.
No, biha is just attached to this phrase. Al-muftatiha biha actually means like starting it. It's one thing.
Okay.
Okay, I think we could continue and we could maybe discuss this in chat maybe, because what do you guys say?
Yeah, let's continue. I think Sister Nida's been holding her hand up since just now and she was interrupted. So maybe we can continue with her.
Yeah, sure.
Sure. So I'll start from Wajatta. Wajatta al-harf al-muftataha biha tilka suwaratu ifradan wa tarkiban akthara تركيبا أكثر عددا أكثر no is this أكثر?
That's right.
أكثر عددا في كلمها منها في نزيرتها ومماثلتها في عدد كلمها وحروفها. So you find the opening harf with that surah or of that surah singular, and the construction like ifradan is single usage and tarkiban is the construction or structure.
Yes, I think they both are hal.
Hal. So in like singular usage and structure, more than the number in its words, more than the numbers in its words. Like the construction in usage is more than the number in its words. From it in opposite to it and similar to it. Mumathilati, I think similar to it, and fi other than, and in number of its words and its letters. Is that correct? Do you want me to repeat this translation again? Oh.
Let's repeat the entire sentence translation once together.
You find the opening harf by let's say of that surah in singular usage and construction, like mostly in number, like aktharu is probably comparative, so more in number in its words and from it, and sometimes it's an opposite to it and sometimes it's similar to it in number of its words and letters. So basically the construction and the usage of the word, the opening word, is sometimes similar to the most of the words in the surah and sometimes it's opposite to it. That's what I could conclude from here.
Did you say fi adadin kalamiha? Or fi
Kalamiha,
adad
yes.
kalamiha?
Fi adadi,
Yeah.
mudaf mudafile, kalamiha wa hurufiha, another mudafile.
I would want to say as an alternative translation. Can I?
So please go ahead. Yeah.
So we were comparing two surahs, right? One surah that had the opening letters and one that was similar to it in other ways but did not have the opening letters. So it's saying that the one that had the opening letters had those letters repeated in it, both individually and as a construction, more than. So here is saying aksara, and then minha is coming. So aksara means more than the other one. The one that was its counterpart that we were comparing it with.
Right.
So the surah that had the opening letters had more repetition of those letters as compared to its counterpart that we were comparing it with. The other surah that was resembling with it in other ways.
Okay.
So the repetition over there is less, and the repetition with in the surah that has opening letters is more.
Okay.
Nadirati has counterpart. Yeah.
Opposite of it. Yes.
Not the opposite, like the counterpart of it the other surah that we were comparing it with. The Nadiratiha and the Mamat. Actually, it was Mamatsalatiha when I checked. Mamatsalatiha. It was Fatha. And both these words are for the other surah that we are comparing it with.
Right. So the one which we are comparing it with, some are similar. Okay. Shall I continue or?
Please continue.
Yeah. Istandu ila il-ihsa'i ja'a fi malakil ta'wili an sababin bada'a Luqman bi alif lam mim wa suratu Yunus bi alif lam ra annahu takarraru fi suratin Yunus minal kalamil minal kalamil waqi'i fiha alif lam ra no sorry it's ar-ra'a fiha ar-ra'a I don't know the haraka fiha in it ar-ra'u can someone correct me? Fiha ar-ra'u, observer. Mi'ata kalimatin wa ishruna kalimatan aw nahwaha. So I think what it says is, and they have used and then they have used counts and they have used evidence that it came in the book about the reason it started Surah Luqman with Alif Lam Mim and Surah Yunus with Alif Lam Ra, that he repeats in Surah Yunus from the actual word in it. The observers, the actual word in it is observed 200 times, 200 times, and 200 words, is being observed 200 words and 20 words or its grammar. I'm sorry, I don't think I can continue. I'm not doing justice. Maybe someone can take over.
Okay, Ilham, are you there? Can you take over, Ilham?
Sorry, where are we?
Yeah.
Where did we leave off? Sorry.
Nida, where did you end?
Oh, I ended at the third one, but maybe you can repeat the paragraph.
Yeah, واستندوا.
Yeah.
Okay. واستندوا إلى الإحصاء, and they used counts as evidence or numbers as evidence. جاء في ملك التأويل. It was mentioned, or it literally means it came, but you know, it was like mentioned in this book. By the way, my translation is usually terrible, so you guys can help me out. I understand this stuff, but my translation is really bad. Okay. جاء في ملك التأويل عن سبب بدء سورة اللقمان, for the reason of the beginning of Surah Luqman, the Alif Lam Mim, with Alif Lam Mim. So Surah Luqman begins with Alif Lam Mim. So the reason was, and Surah Yunus be Alif Lam Ra, and Surah Yunus starting with Alif Lam Ra. أنه, so now this is the beginning of what was said in Malakut Ta'wil. أنه تكرر في سورة يونس, that it was repeated in Surah Yunus من الكلام الواقع فيها الراء, in words that contained the letter Ra. Yeah, 200 كلمة و20 كلمة. So 220 words. So 220 words contained the letter Ra in Surah Yunus. أو نحوها, or thereabout. وأقرب صور إليها مما يليها بعدها من غير المفتحة بالحروف المقطعة سورة النحل. And the closest surah to it that follows it after it from other surahs that do not begin with the حروف المقطعة is Surah An-Nahl. وهي أطول منها, and it is actually longer than Surah Yunus. والوارد فيها مما تركب على الراء من كلمها 200 كلمة مع زيادتها في الطول عليها. في الطول or طول? What is the مصدر؟ في الطول.
I think it's طول.
طول. Okay. في الطول عليها. And okay, so I'm gonna say al-warid as what's mentioned literally just means mentioned, but I'm going to add a what there just to make sense. So what mentioned in it مما تركب على الراء, from what is constructed on the ra, على الراء, من كلمها, or the words that have the letter ra in is actually مئة كلمة, only 100 كلمة or 100 words مع زيادتها في الطول عليها, even though or despite the fact that it is longer than Surah Yunus. So basically they're comparing Surah An-Nahl and Surah Yunus. And Surah An-Nahl does not begin with the huruf al-muqatta'a, but when you look at Surah Yunus, which begins with Alif Lam Ra, you find that the Ra is repeated more times, 220 times, despite it being shorter than Surah An-Nahl. Surah An-Nahl actually just has 200 words. مئتا كلمة, 200 words. Okay. وانتبهوا إلى شيء آخر. They were also cautious or aware of something else, of another thing. وهو أن عدد هذه الحروف 14 حرفا. Yeah, عدد هذه الحروف 14 حرفا. That's the thing that they were aware of, is that the quantity or the number of this حروف المقطعات, the disjointed letters, is 14 letters. أي بمقدار نصف حروف المعجم. Is to say, or i.e., I means meaning, or i.e., at the same quantity, بمقدار, the same quantity as half of the basically alphabet, half of the alphabet. So the Arabic alphabet is either 28 letters or 29 letters, depending on whether you agree alif is a letter or not. So it's 28 letters. And so half of 28 is 14, which is the حروف المقطعات. ترددت في 29 سورة على عدد حروف المعجم, which have been repeated. So these 14 letters have been repeated in 29 surahs, which is the exact number of the alphabet letters in the Arabic language, 29 or 28 thereabout. ثم إذا نظرت في هذه 14 حرفا عشري. I'm terrible with numbers. So then, if you look at these 14 letters, وجدتها مشتملة على أنصاف أجناس الحروف. You would find that they comprise half the types of letters. Now, I do not know what types of letters are, but that's what they're saying here, so we'll see what they're saying.
So voiceless and I think loud letters. Al-Mahmusa is voiceless.
There's
Yeah.
actually 9
and
categories
loud.
of letters ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't do tajweed, so my tajweed is basically like Ustad learned tajweed. You know, when I make a mistake, I got a smack on the back. That's how I learned tajweed. So, yeah, I don't know this stuff. But anyway, let's see.
I just found out the meanings. Even my tajweed is not good.
Okay. وبيان ذلك أن فيها من الحروف this is one of them. المهموسة نصفها.
Yes.
Okay. المهموسة الحروف المهموسة نصفها. And the evidence for that بيان ذلك أن فيها من الحروف المهموسة نصفها. That if you look at this حروف المهموسة, you will find that the disjointed letters are half of mahmusa. ومن المجهورة نصفها. And also from the majhura, half of it. ومن الشديدة نصفها. And from the الشديدة نصفها, half of it. ومن الرخوة نصفها. And from الرخوة, also half of it. ومن المطبقة, I think, I don't know how, if that's the right way. نصفها, also half of it. ومن المنفتحة نصفها. From the منفتحة, also half of it. ومن المستعلية, I have no idea. Half of it, نصفها. ومن المنخفضة نصفها. And from the منخفضة نصفها, half of it. ومن حروف القلقلة نصفها. And from the حروف القلقلة, half of it. وقد ذكر من هذه الأنصاف ما هو كثير الدوران في الكلام. This part I honestly didn't get, especially the word duran and what it means, but if I'm to try, and it has been mentioned about this halves, ما هو كثير الدوران, what is plenty in rotation, in speech rotation? I have no idea what that means. Maybe it's like a phrase or something.
Turnings or
Turnings, rotations.
yeah. Turning or part. I got 2-3 meanings of this word.
It may be ذكر and then ما هو كثير. It may be what is much repeated.
ذكر, yes. وقد ذكر من هذه الأنصاف ما هو كثير الدوران في الكلام. Much has been, I don't know. وقد ذكر. It has been mentioned about this house. Much of speech rotations. I don't get this, honestly.
Many turnings?
So it may be much repeated, the sense. Wallahu alam.
Yeah, could be. Like a lot has been said about this house.
The halves that are used are the ones that are most used in the conversation, that most used. The halves that are used. From each category, half is used. So the half that is used is the one that is more used as compared to the other half in speech.
I see. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that makes more sense actually. فسبحان الذي دقت في كل شيء حكمة. So exalted is the one who has made precision in all matters.
The doer here is hikmatu, so the wisdom. Yeah.
I don't know what hikmah. Yeah, did I just say hikmah or what did I say? Because I'm in the habit of not reading the last letters, the last haraka, so that I need to fix.
Yeah, is that
okay? Hikmatuhu, his wisdom. Yeah. So exalted be the one who made precision in everything.
I translated this as whose wisdom made precision, because the doer of it is hikmatu, so whose wisdom made everything precise.
Yeah, right.
And when I was searching Arab, it was dawaran. I saw it as like fathan, dal, waw, and ra.
Dawaran?
Yeah, that's what I found in Ayatollahs.
Yeah, since we crashed Ayatollahs, that's out of the window now. Congratulations, guys. Any mistakes I made, because I know
one, I just noticed one, so I'll say. Oh, yeah, just do.
Any question about this page? So Ilham, you could continue, then maybe next page we could do like maybe 1 or 2 more.
Okay, could you just correct me the mistake that I made so that I can also correct it?
Previous paragraph was wajadtaha, so I think you said wajadtuha, and the one category of words as a mutabbiqatu. This was mutabbiqatu.
I actually don't know these words, so I can correct this.
No, I just put the Arab from video, so I don't know either, but it's a mutabbaqat. Mutabbaqati it was.
Okay. You said wajadta. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. وليس هذا كل شيء في الإحصاء. This is not everything in the statistics or evidence. I think I prefer evidence, like in the counts of what they used as evidence. بل هناك شيء آخر وربما أشياء. Rather, there's actually something else and probably several things. أشياء, like a number of things. أفلم تقرأ الإحصاءات الأخرى في كتاب الله العزيز لترى العجب? Have you not read other evidences in the book of Allah Al-Aziz, the Mighty, so that you see the amazement or the wonder? لترى العجب. لقد تبين أنه لم توضع توضع الألفاظ عبثا. It has been made clear. I think
what are you going to do with it?
Emma, you are unmuted, so you can mute yourself.
Dia tak kena.
Okay. لقد تبين أنه لم توضع الألفاظ عبثا. It has been established or it has been clarified that this alfaz, the words have not been placed unnecessarily, ولا من غير حساب, and not without any account or without any calculations, yes, without any calculations. بل هي موضوعة وضعا دقيقا بحساب دقيق. Instead, or rather, it is a موضوع, it's a topic, I don't know.
Oh, they are placed.
Sorry?
Placement.
The placement. Okay. Their placement.
Precise placement.
Yeah, it has been وضعا, I'm guessing this مفعول مطلق. Placed precisely. دقيقا, also like precisely.
Extreme, I think, precision.
Yeah, precision, precise. I don't know, like, yeah, you get the meaning. بحساب دقيق. Again, it's more emphasis on how precise, like
Yeah,
in a
precise
calculated,
calculation.
precise manner, right? Like something like that. Okay. لقد تبين, it has been clarified or established. أن الدنيا, that the word dunya, تكررت في القرآن الكريم بقدر الآخرة. That the dunya, the word dunya, has been repeated in the Al-Quran al-Karim in the same amount as the word آخرة. فقد تكرر كل منهما 115 times. I'm not going to read this in Arabic. I do not know numbers. Okay, so don't ask me to do that. Okay, so they have been repeated, both of them, 115 times. وأن الملائكة تكررت بقدر الشياطين فقد تكرر كل منهما 88 مرة times. So the word ملائكة has been repeated in the same quantity as shayateen, that is 88 times. وأن الموت ومشتقاته تكرر بقدر الحياة or الحياة or الحياة, depending on how you look at it. فقد تكرر كل منهما 145 مرة times. So the word maut or death and its derivatives مشتقاته have been repeated the same amount as life. وهل الموت إلا للأحياء, beautiful, and isn't death except for the living. وأن الصيف and that's summer, والحر and heat, I don't know, or temperature or heat, I think. تكرر both of them بقدر لفظ الشتاء, in the same amount as the word winter, والبرد and cold. فقد تكرر كل منهما 5 مرات, and both of them have been repeated 5 times. وأن لفظ سيئات, and the word سيئات ومشتقاتها and its derivatives تكرر بقدر لفظ الصالحات, has been repeated in the same amount as or in the same amount as the word الصالحات ومشتقاتها and its derivatives as well. فقد تكرر كل منهما 167 times. وأن لفظ الكفر تكرر بقدر لفظ الإيمان, and the word كفر has repeated in the same amount as the word إيمان. فقد تكرر كل منهما 17 times مرة. Both of them have been repeated 17 times. Yeah. Any questions there? Or any corrections?
I think, sister, you read over here, Laisa has a kullu shayin, right? I think it's Khabru Laisa. Laisa has a kullu shayin, right? And this is not everything.
Yes.
Right? Yes.
Yes.
And there was, yeah, and I think you read over Annal Malaikati, maybe. So
Brother Baskar, I think it's in bracket. That means it's in like inverted commas. So that's like title type thing. So we don't have to, I think, change its harakas. It's we keep
it depends if
Yeah.
like I say,
because That's in paragraph. It's not like part of sentences like nahu, but it's just name, title, parenthesis, inverted commas. Like we don't send harakas of names or titles in inverted commas.
And they actually come in rafa form, even though they are mudaf ilayhs, but
Yes,
you can,
it'll
if
stay
you
in
want
the
to read
default.
it, you by default you would just read it in rafa form.
But it kind of depends if you connect the words or you stop. Like if I say anna ad-dunya, then I'm not obliged to. But if I connect, if I read it as connecting, then I have, if it's a mudaf, I have to say the mudaf ilayh. Like I have to connect it. That's what I remember.
I think you say it in isolation because that's what it signifies, that if you're not using the haraka.
If you are connecting it with the previous word that is outside of inverted commas, then you got to like put the proper harakas. If you're not connecting it, reading it individually, then it's going to be marfu.
In the like
And so I think Sister Ilham, I think you did a translation mistake as well. You read it like a saat as evidences. I think they mean statistics or numbers. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, that's what it means. I said statistics, but I kind of said I also like evidence more.
I've written calculation.
Like
statistics, actually statistics, calculation number, but evidence is, I think evidence is a bit different, right? Sister, like translate as evidence.
Oh, I think he said both of them, but yeah, maybe it was.
Yes. Other than that, I don't actually remember any mistake.
One, I think, like, I think she's saying bi qadri. So I think Sister Ilham was putting the sukoon on dal. So it's qadari, isn't it?
No, I think qadar is referring to like destination or predestination, like that, like qadar, laylatul qadr, like we say, right? The calculation one is like with the sukoon on dal. What was sister reading? I actually couldn't pay much attention. Yeah. She read Biqadar, then I think she read incorrectly. If she read Biqadar with a sukoon on dal, then she read correctly.
I was wrong. So it's sukoon and dal. Yes, she's right.
Yes.
Can I just do a time check here? We've got 13 more minutes if we're going to honor the time. And we've got, I think, what, 4 more pages?
I think we could do one more, but Sister Ilham has another class as well in 13 minutes, and we are using like her Zoom, so we need to be aware of that. So, Sister Ilham, could you read one more? I think these are just like the same calculation. I think you could.
Okay, yeah, I can read one more. Okay. وتكرر لفظ كفرا بقدر لفظ إيمانا فقد تكرر كل منهما 8 مرات. And the word kufr has been repeated in the same amount as the word iman, and both of them have been repeated 8 times. وأنه تكرر ذكر إبليس بقدر لفظ الاستعاذة فقد تكرر كل منهما 11 times. So it has been repeated, the mention of the word Iblis has been repeated in the same amount as al-isti'adha, saying A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, and both of them have been repeated 11 times. وأن ذكر الكافرين, so the mention of al-kafirin تكرر بنفس عدد النار, has been mentioned the same amount of times as the mention of fire. وهل النار إلا للكافرين وهل النار إلا للكافرين, and is in the fire except for the kafirin, the disbelievers. وأن ذكر الحرب تكرر بعدد الأسرى. The word war, al-harb, sorry, we're not translating that. The mention of the word war, harb, تكرر, has been mentioned in the same amount of times as the prisoners of war or captives of war. Yeah. وهل الأسرى إلا من أوزار الحرب, and aren't the prisoners or captives except for the burdens of war or the consequences? That's like me trying to create some English there. But burdens, أوزار, literally just means burdens. And then وأن لفظ قالوا تكرر 332 times. The word قالوا has been repeated 332 times. ومن عجب أن يتساوى هذا من لفظ قل. And it is amazing that this matches the mention of the word قل, which is an amr, قل, of قالوا, of قال. الذي هو الذي هو أمر من الله إلى خلقه, which is a command from Allah to his creation. فسبحان من قال قل. So exalted be he, the one who said قل 332 times. مرة فكان القول 332 مرة. So exalted be the one who said قل 332 times, and the word became 332 times as well. So for those who are in my group, this kana here is kana at-tam, so be and it is kind of stuff. وأن لفظ الشهر, I'm guessing this is الشهر, or in this case شهر, تكرر 12 مرات بعدد شهور السنة. The word month, شهر, has been repeated 12 times in the same amount as the number of months in a year. وأن لفظ اليوم تكرر 365 مرات بعدد أيام السنة. The word يوم, which is day, has been repeated 365 times in the same amount as a year. وأن لفظ الأيام تكرر 30 مرات بعدد أيام الشهر. The word al-ayyam, days, has been repeated 30 times in the same amount as the number of days in a month. وقد تقول, and you could say, ولم لم يعكس فيذكر اليوم 30 مرة بقدر أيام الشهر والأيام 365 مرات بقدر أيام السنة. So you could say, why not mirror or match, and you mention اليوم, the word day, 30 times to match it with the days in a month. والأيام, days, to match it with 365 days in a year. You could ask that, or somebody could ask that. والجواب أن العرب, and the answer is that the Arabs تستعمل الجمع تمييزا لأقل العدد, وهو من 3 إلى 10 من 3 إلى 10. فإذا زاد على 10 جاءت بالمفرد فتقول so the Arabs, they would use الجمع, the plural, تمييزا, as a تمييز لأقل العدد, for lesser quantity, وهو من 3 إلى 10, and that is from 3 to 10. Okay, فإذا زاد على 10, if it increases, if it goes beyond 10, جاءت بالمفرد فتقول, they used, again translating جاءت here, they brought, we know جاء بي, brought, but I'm using used because to make more sense. So they used the singular المفرد فتقول, so you would say 3 رجال, you would say 3 plural رجال. Okay, you would say 3 رجال, you would say 3 men, و4 رجال, and 4 men, و10 رجال, and 10 men. فإذا زاد على 10, if it increased or went above 10, وصار كثرة, and وصار كثرة, and it became more, جاءت بالمفرد فتقول, so you would bring the mufrad and say 20 رجلا, so you use the mufrad رجلا, so 20 men, و100 رجل, and 100 men, و1000 رجل, and 1000 men. فالجمع يوقعونه تمييزا للقلة, والمفرد يوقعونه تمييزا للكثرة. So the plural, they let it happen, or they let it occur as a tamyiz for the lesser quantity, and the singular or al-mufrad, they let it occur, or they let it happen for as a tamyiz for the many. I think we can stop there because I just didn't want to stop that thought. I need to go to my other class.
Yes, Alhamdulillah. Any question, like last question? Anyone, if anyone has any questions?
Just one thing, if no one has it. So there was a question, the line, question before it that this paragraph was answering. وَقَدْ تَقُولُ.
This one, yes.
Yeah, so I translated this way. So yaqisu also means reverse. So you could say walima lam yaqis. Why didn't he reverse? Why didn't he reverse and said and mentioned al-yawm as 30? Because 30 is less and 360 is more. So 30. So why didn't he use yawm, singular one, for 30 and plural one, 360, ayam for 365? If we say if we see in above list, when 30, they've used plural and singular with the like higher number. So they're saying that why didn't he reverse it like this way?
Yes, I think that was the author intention. Like, why wasn't this
No.
word over here and this?
Yeah, I was just translating. Yeah.
Yes.
That why didn't? Yeah, that's.
That was the
Yeah,
author
reverse could
intention.
also work. Yeah, reverse could also mean yaqis.
Yeah, because I think you said it in Yaskura in second person. That's why I was saying.
Okay, so Alhamdulillah, I think we missed our target like only like 3 pages, so it's not a big deal, inshallah. So now we will continue from the same page like on next week, inshallah.
Thank you
Is that
so
okay?
much.
Yes.
Jazakallah khair.
Yeah,
Jazakumullah khair.
Jazakumullah khairan, everyone. Assalamu alaikum.
Good night, everyone. Assalamu alaikum.
Let's crush Ma'ani tomorrow. We crushed Ayatul today. Let's crush Ma'ani. See you guys.
Did it actually happen?
Yeah, it did.